Hey Gemini, your April reading is ready, and I have everything rolled into one this month. Clarifiers on your theme of new location and what that means, the week to week lineup, career in the top right, love under that, and then your bonus advice. Anyway, so new location is clarified by the Tower, Woman of Wands, and Ace of Worlds. So you have recently either been cast out or dissatisfied with the space in your life. It could be your workplace, your workspace. Like me, my old table that I was using for readings, like and the tripod, they were just a disaster. And so I moved over here to this other table. And there could have been damage to your home for somebody. But whether it's that you're removing yourself from or have been rudely removed from, this is past energy. You're coming in already in search of a new place or space to start over. And there's a sense coming into April of being adrift or at sea after your ship sinking. And if you're searching, it's like you're searching for land. And I take in this whole reading together and it says not in Kansas anymore. And that might be what I put in the title. It might not have felt like it at the time, but that structure, it was in your way. And now there's a feeling of being unleashed, of freedom and stretching and expansion. There is a need to take a holistic approach to everything this month because it's all tied together. So if you're someone who prefers to compartmentalize, I see that being really hard to do. And you don't have to. There's liberation here. And I love how the tower begins, the far left corner there with lava on the bottom left. And as we move to the right, we can see this green floral pasture at the end of the Ace of Worlds. So that's your transition. And there with the Ace of Worlds, that's your soft, graceful landing. And you stick the landing like a cat on your feet. And it could be something small, but there's lots of room to grow from there. So like this desk is small. It's smaller than that little table, but there's better light. Or like a job that might pay just a couple dollars less, but you know, when you walk in the door, but there's more avenues for advancement. Or you could move into a smaller house that's in a more up and coming neighborhood and your equity is going to grow quicker, something like that. A smaller town, but you have like tons more space because there's fewer people. It's less crowded. So that's kind of metaphors for what you're looking at there. So, okay, week one, you have the moon. So it is no mystery that there would be some unknowns right now, but this feels more promising than scary. Like, okay, if you think about the dark, we are wired to fear what danger might be lurking there. But couldn't there just as easily be a treasure, a lover, a resource, or opportunity yet to be revealed in the unknown? The unknown holds just as much richness and, good things as it might be hiding things to be afraid of. Now, I see the Ace of Swords reversed in work, Two of Swords in love, so there's just not a lot of clarity to be had this month. And I don't feel fear here, though. It feels rich with the mystery of a new place before it becomes home eventually, or the intrigue of a foreign city that you go to intentionally because it's unfamiliar and different. And I'm also hearing something turning boundaryless into boundless, whatever that means. Second week, you have King of Wands, Commander Gemini. This shows a need to be decisive, at least this week. There's other places where it's not so much advised, like in your relationship sector, but this could be related to something else. But you can't be afraid of making an imperfect decision. It shows you being able to make any decision work because you don't need to always be correct. You just need to know how to always pivot and don't waste energy on regret because that'll result in paralysis in the next choice. And also, this is kind of like a weird self-exploration question, but how extraordinary would you be if you surrendered the need to be special? One of the most common mindsets in the ego that fixes us in. I mean, it would be a little ironic to be extraordinary and not feel the desperate need to be, but you wouldn't care. And are you setting yourself on fire and burning yourself up and burning out what would make you stand out in the pursuit of that? These questions, they're coming up because you're a leader here with that King of Wands. And they want you to be prepared. You'll be hyper focused on whatever you're pursuing. Now, week 3, you have the Six of Pentacles. So this is favors getting repaid or seeing a return on your effort. This feels more balanced and stable here for the first time so far this month, because burnout happens when our results are so much smaller than our effort. And it feels like wheels spinning in mud, but not this week. You are starting here to get traction again, and you could be feeling more grateful and therefore more generous. And something you lost could be replaced, or you decide to get rid of something and then suddenly there's a better replacement and it's on sale or something. Now, the fourth week, you have 8 of Pentacles. So this energy continues where you're perfecting something, you're ironing out the wrinkles and creating a process that you'll eventually be able to put on autopilot. And you'll be able to finally see a return to routine. So this whole month, it seems like a flurry of different places and activities, and this feels like a welcome return to normalcy. Now, for career, you have Ace of Swords reversed and Queen of Cups. So here's one of those situations where you might be waiting on answers and no one's withholding them. They just don't have them. And this shows poor communication and having to navigate by your intuition and principles. So put your self-care first and foremost in the forefront for once, or you're going to end up frustrated. I see a situation where you might have to have the strength to keep your opinion to yourself. The situation doesn't call for you to be right, but to be compassionate. And so your key to professional success in April is empathy, not harsh truth. Now, for love, you have 8 of Pentacles, 2 of Swords. More need to navigate without an encyclopedia of every fact and detail at your disposal. I'm noticing a theme here. And honestly, it looks like the two of you being very focused on work or other things. And this relationship is going to be self-sustaining. And sometimes it's just like that. You can't meet a new love of your life every month. That would be weird and a little dubious, honestly. I do see a little indecisiveness also, like a choice being suspended until further notice. And this is a nice harmony, though. It's a relationship. Relationships take work, but it should not be a full-time job. It should allow you to grow individually, too. And I see that here. Something supporting you, growing your talents. Someone helping you master yourself by allowing you space, but not cold distance. So it's like parallel play in kids, together without smothering each other. And some of you, this is maybe individual, but you could be torn about a workplace relationship. And there's also a sense of being torn on where to invest most of your effort, or being too busy to spend as much time together as you would like, but it's only because you want two things equally and you're still going to try to have it all. And you will for a while, at least in April. I see that being sustainable. Now, your bonus advice is Bronze, strengthen your body. And this gives you a really nice place to focus, something to anchor to while everything else feels up in the air. And this is nice and actionable and solid in the midst of flux. It would be so easy to just get completely lost in your head if you spend this month up in your head. So connecting in with your body is going to make or break for your sanity. And this is a great time for walks, nutrient-dense food, strength training, sleeping well, all that good stuff. So if nothing else, mind your immune system. And this is really going to ground you. So that's what I have for you now, Gemini. Comment if you have any questions or if you'd like me to say something a little bit differently. And I will talk to you next month. Thank you.